Have you ever just stopped and looked at all the stuff in your life and wondered, where does it all really come from? Well, today, we're going to take a trip up to the Nordic countries to find out. We're going to uncover the amazing natural origins of our modern world.
Now, seriously, do it. Look around you right now. The chair you're on, the phone in your hand, maybe the coffee on your desk. All of it had to start somewhere, right? But where is that somewhere?
Well, it all starts with a journey. That fish swimming in the sea, it becomes the meal on our plate. A single tree in a massive forest becomes the table in our dining room. And that incredible transformation, it's all thanks to something we call natural resources.
Okay, so let's get right into that. It sounds like a simple term, but it is so important to understand what we're actually talking about here.
It's literally right there in the name, isn't it? Natural resources are simply things that we find in nature and then figure out a way to use. You know, they're the raw ingredients that our planet gives us. They come from our forests, our oceans, the mountains, even deep down in the ground.
So think about it like this. Trees from some quiet forest become the paper in your notebook or the furniture in your house. That iron ore that we dig out of mountains, it gets forged into the frame of a bicycle or the tools in a workshop. Everything we use has a story, and that story always begins in nature.
To really wrap our heads around this, let's actually go and see it for ourselves. We're heading north on a tour through some of the Nordic countries, and each one has its own amazing natural treasures. First up, Norway. Way out in the cold, deep waters off the coast of Norway, there's a treasure that has literally powered the modern world: oil. But the story of how it got there, well, that started a very long time ago. I mean, the timescale here is just mind-blowing. We're talking millions of years. Tiny little plants and animals in the ocean died, sank to the bottom, and got buried under layer after layer of sand and clay. Over eons, all that heat and pressure basically cooked them into the black gold we know as oil. So today, we have the technology to pump that ancient concentrated energy right up from the seabed. Now, for Norway, this discovery totally changed its economy, but it also came with a huge question. How do you use this incredible wealth wisely? A huge chunk of the money actually goes into a massive national savings account, basically investing for a future when the oil is all gone.
And that's the crucial thing here. That whole process takes millions of years, which means once we use the oil, it's gone for good. That makes oil a finite resource. It can and will run out. But not all resources are like that. Some are renewable, meaning we can replace them. And that takes us to our next stop.
All right, let's head east now, over to Sweden and Finland. We're going to see a completely different kind of resource at play. These countries are covered in vast, valuable forests, what some people call their green gold.
I mean, just look at this. These huge forests are basically the lungs of the entire region, and they are the perfect example of a renewable resource. See, unlike oil, a tree can grow back within a human lifetime, not over millions of years, but, and this is a big but, only if we manage them carefully.
So the whole thing works like a cycle, a kind of partnership. Trees are harvested when they get big enough, then they're sent to factories and turned into everything from houses to books. But here's the most important part. New trees are planted to take their place. This careful, sustainable approach is what ensures this green gold is truly renewable for generations to come.
Okay, our tour is now taking us a bit south, down to the rolling fields and farmlands of Denmark, where the resources come right out of the soil itself.
Denmark's landscape is just perfect for agriculture. For centuries, people have been growing crops and raising animals like cows and pigs here. You could say this is another kind of renewable resource, one we've been working with for thousands of years, and one that also needs to be managed carefully so the soil stays healthy.
Just think about breakfast this morning. The milk in your coffee, the butter on your toast, maybe some yogurt. These products are a direct result of that partnership with the land. It's nature, cultivated by humans, and turned into the food that keeps us going.
For our final stop, we are heading to a land of fire and ice, Iceland. Here, they figured out how to harness an unbelievable power source that comes from deep within the Earth itself.
So Iceland is one of the most volcanically active places on the entire planet. And yeah, that can be pretty dangerous, but it also provides this amazing gift, a practically limitless supply of heat just bubbling right under the surface. It's called geothermal energy.
And how it works is just brilliantly simple. The Earth's own super hot core heats up groundwater. The Icelanders just drill down, pump that naturally hot water to the surface, and then use it to heat everything: homes, schools, even their famous outdoor swimming pools. It's clean,
it's sustainable, and it's all thanks to the planet itself.
So, as we've seen on our tour, nature gives us all the materials and the energy for our lives. But its value goes way beyond what we can just pull out of the ground, and that's something the Nordic countries really seem to understand.
Nature is also a resource for our spirit, for our soul. In the Nordic countries, there's this really strong cultural idea called friluftsliv, which basically means outdoor life. People hike, they camp, they get out and connect with the wilderness, and that shared value is a huge reason why they work so hard to protect it. It's not just about managing resources, it's about protecting a way of life.
And you know what? That natural beauty is a resource all on its own. Tourism is a massive industry up there, and it's all built on a foundation of healthy, beautiful nature. People fly from all over the world just to see the fjords in Norway or the forests in Finland, and that supports entire communities.
Which really brings us to the core lesson from this whole trip. It doesn't matter if we're using finite resources like oil, or managing renewable ones like forests, or just enjoying the beauty of the wild. We have a responsibility. Protecting these natural places is the only way we can guarantee they'll be here for our kids and their kids too.
Every product, every meal, every bit of power, it all has a beginning in the natural world. But the story doesn't end there. It ends with the choices that we make. So the real question, the one I want to leave you with, is this. Since we get all this incredible wealth from nature, what will we choose to protect for the future?